Yay!
Hey, oh my gosh, we pulled this off in just a few minutes of planning.
The best of things get created like that.
Right? Well,
Mhm.
hey everybody, I'm Amy Williams, and I am here with my friend Heather Nichols, who is coming to Nebraska next week.
Yay! Maybe.
Woohoo! I am so excited for the
Me
class
too.
you have coming up in Omaha. Oh my goodness.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah, so I just wanted to jump on and just have a little chat about bodies and possibilities and the amazing contribution that the access consciousness body processes can be. And just let some of the people I know get to know you because, you who knows what we could create in the future, even if this is short notice for some peeps. And who knows who might jump in, even though it's short notice for some peeps.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, hey, if your body wants to be there, then sometimes bodies can be very demanding, very insistent.
Oh, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually right before this, I was doing another, kind of little interview, excuse me, um, and we were talking about bodies, and, um, and I was actually kind of, like, having this little walk down memory lane of my, past with body like, how I got started working with bodies, which was I mean, you could say when I was 2 and I started dancing, my mom had to lie to get me into dance school because you had to be 3, and I was 2 and I was gonna fucking dance, you know? My mom was like, "Alright, well, I guess we're gonna tell them that she's 3," you know? And then I told my teacher it was my birthday, and she was like, "Oh, how old are you?" And I'm like, "I'm 3," She's like, "Okay." So, anyway, um, so I started very early with this whole body thing. Um, and I was always, like, moving and dancing and doing gymnastics and diving and, all the things as a kid. Um, and, um, and and I but in my 20s, I was a body-centered psychotherapist, and this is what I just kinda, like, told this whole story that I haven't really told in a long time of how I actually really fell in love with the consciousness of the body.
Mm.
Um, and because that was actually way before I discovered access consciousness, way before I even knew that the body had its own consciousness. And I worked with people therapeutically as a psychotherapist, and we did a lot of trauma work and a lot of other kinds of work. And I taught movement classes and stuff, and it was all body centered, and it was all about letting your body lead. And the bodies would just show you time and time again. Me, the client, like we'd get into a session, we'd be like, okay, we'd start talking to somebody's body, and their body would just, given the right, kind of like container and facilitation, the bodies would just go, they would just unwind. Like they would just move in the direction of greater, and just like, and somebody would have this huge trauma history that would just like unravel right there without any words or tears. Their whole body would just go,
Mm.
you know, and all these beautiful experiences that I had with bodies. And I started that in my 20s, and that was really where I went, oh my gosh, bodies are absolutely amazing, incredible. They know so much. And I started to really trust the consciousness of my body and bodies in general. And then I found access and this whole conversation of bodies have their own consciousness.
Mhm.
And your body is your body, your being is your being. They're not separate, but they're also not the exact same thing. And access is really one of the only modalities that specifically acknowledges the consciousness of the body as its own thing, you know, and then we can work with it. And with the body processes, these hands-on energetic processes that we do, um, energy work, you might want to call it, it creates this incredible communion, between people and their bodies that you don't have to think about or figure out how to get there, or, but it just, you receive the process, receive the work, you give it, you participate in it, and you have a greater sense of communion with your body, a greater sense of trusting your body, letting your body lead, the enjoyment of your body, like all these things. It's just amazing.
We've got a great comment. I don't know if you can see them too, but she says, "That's what made Access so different for me. You mean this isn't just a meat suit? It actually knows things."
Exactly. Exactly. You're
This
in
is
your meat suit.
funny because in a class where we needed an extra body, a gal called in one of her clients, and he got off the table and he goes, and he didn't had never been in one of these conversations. He was out the minute he hit the table, and he said, "Wow, first time in a meat suit." That's exactly what he said.
That's hilarious.
It was
Oh
so
my god.
hilarious.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't even know they have bodies. I know that sounds really weird, but it's actually true. Like, if you go to the airport or the shopping mall or what, like, you just go out in the world where there's a lot of people, like maybe 75%, I don't know, depends on where you are, but a lot of people don't even know that they have a body. Like, they're just kind of like, it's neck up, you know?
Right, yeah. Or they're so separated from it that the only way they interact with it as something that isn't them is being angry with it, or
Hmm. Yeah.
or feeling like it's working against them. My body's a traitor and things like that. But what if you actually could truly be best friends and get that your body truly has your back
Yeah.
and have your body's back when
Yeah.
your body does wanna go somewhere or doesn't wanna go somewhere
Yeah.
or doesn't wanna do something.
Yeah.
Really listen.
Totally. And it's amazing because when you follow that, like, it always creates greater. There's so much more that when your body just is like, not this or whatever, it's like so much more that gets created. I posted a video a couple days ago. I was at this water, we did this hike into these beautiful watering holes, like waterfalls and pools in the mountains in California. And my body was like, we've been going up there since I was a kid. And my body was like, I want to dive in. I want to dive in. I want to dive in. And it's like this slanted, it's this big rock. It's slanted and there's these rocks below and you have to jump far out and it's high, to get into the
Uh-huh.
water. So it's not like you just jump. Like there's some, you gotta like get in the right spot in the water. My body was just like, I want to dive. I want to dive. I want to dive. I'm like, are you kidding me? My body's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, it sounds like fun, but
Right.
but my body was so, I'm doing it, you know? And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, body. And it was so clear. It was like, I'm doing it. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Let's go, you know? And so, um, I went, okay, well, I need to, I need to actually work with this here so that I am willing to do it. So I used some of the tools of Access where I was like, how many people have stood on this rock and wanted to dive into this pool and been terrified, or hurt themselves or whatever. I'm like, what am I aware of? Am I aware of all those people? Is any of this mine?
Yeah.
I just used the tools and got my mind to shut up and my being on board. And then I just dove into the water and it was so exhilarating. It changed my whole day. It was so much fun. So, I hadn't done something like that since I was a lot younger.
Right? Well, as a kid, you just do it. You don't
Yeah.
think of the stories you've heard or the problems
Right.
people have had or the dangers it could be or slipping
Yeah.
before you get to the edge or
Right. Exactly. All the things. You
all the
just
things.
yeah, you just go, okay, body, whatever.
Yeah.
And but it's so cool when you just really go, no, this is a something that involves my body. I'm gonna let my body lead, you know.
Wow.
And when we do, wow, so what goes on.
That's wonderful. Great
Yeah.
fun. Um, So would you okay, this is what wants to come. What is your favorite thing about facilitating a 3-day body class?
Oh,
It popped in before I got on. It
I
just
love those classes so much.
what is
Yeah,
your
it's
favorite
like even just that question, just like they're 3-day body classes for me are this amazing it's 3 days where the bodies dominate.
thing? Ooh.
And to me, it's like that's the planet I want to live on. Like where where our bodies really have a very strong presence and a strong voice and we listen. Um and um and yeah, I no words are required. Like a lot of times my body classes are I've had many 3-day body classes that were pretty much totally silent.
Mm.
And some that aren't, and some we talk, and I don't, it's not like we can't talk or whatever,
Mhm.
but it's amazing how it's not like words aren't required. Um, when you're running those body processes, the body processes are the facilitator, and I always say like I'm the co-facilitator, the
Nice.
processes are the and your body are like the stars of the show, and the processes like so each body process is like this specific energy or set of energies that address something in the body and create a different possibility with it and really undo where we've made our bodies at the effect of this reality where we have to age, we have to degenerate, we have to be solid and real and unchanging and all that stuff. So the body processes undo a lot of that, and without any words, any need to talk at all, they just do it. And so I love being in that space because there's such an intense peace and beauty and this thrum of the bodies just you know,
Mm.
and then I'm just there and my body gets to participate and receive too. Um, it's heaven. I love like I'm always like right now, I'm like, I only have 2 3-day body classes on the books right now. That is not enough. I need more.
I just put so Heather is a 3-day body facilitator, and we're both something called certified facilitators for those who don't know. But I'm a body process facilitator, which means I can teach a 3-hour class. I just put 9 body processes on the books.
That's amazing.
And yeah, I get to facilitate one Thursday night right before foundation starts. And so
Awesome.
yeah, so if you're looking to take this class, you need a current foundation, and I've got one happening, and you can also get one online, and you can still come join us in Omaha. But I want to address what I asked you because what I realized that I actually copied someone who had posted in an Access Consciousness Facebook group, what is your favorite thing about facilitating Access Bars? And Access Bars was the first hands-on energetic body process in the body of work called Access Consciousness. And I pretty much said the same thing you said, just typed it out and just said being in the space of bars all day long.
Mhm.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
burst is a buddy process. Yeah. Um, that's so yeah, it's just amazing. Just where you're like, there's nothing to do, there's nowhere to go, there's no agenda. And some people are like, I need to change some stuff, but the funny thing is the change occurs the more you relax and just sort of let the processes work and let the bodies do what they know to do because the bodies just know what to do. They totally know what to do. Just like my body was like, we're diving in. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and that's what we'll do too. And so as a participant, you have the amazing gift of getting to gift and receive energetic body processes twice a day for 3 days.
Yeah, yeah, and really the cool thing about the 3-day body class is it's its own it's like you get a download of all of the body processes that are in the class, so there's about 60 of them in the manual. So
Mhm.
there's 'cause you're running them in a room where other people are running different processes. So the class that the like the consciousness of a 3-day body class,
Mhm.
the energy of it, like it has its own vroom, like its own thrum, and it like literally gifts you the awareness and the receiving and the energy of all the processes, whether you run them specifically or not. So that's why, in order to become a facilitator, you've got to facilitate each one of the processes to more bodies, because it's you get the download of them, and then you can facilitate like the simultaneity of all of that going on, and
Mhm.
with your own body as well. It's really
Juicy.
so, yeah.
Both of
So
them.
we're gonna be outside of Omaha in a sweet little natural yummy yummy spot. Not So we're not like in the city of Omaha. We're gonna be like surrounded by trees. And you
It's
have you been to the place, or you just
actually have not been. I have just
okay.
seen all the pictures, and we tried to connect so I could go and just go on site and see, but it just feels amazing looking at the photos.
Yeah.
And it's called Elevate and Create Retreat Center, and it is lovely. It's just a beautiful space in a beautiful setting. If you drive across I-80, what you see of Nebraska is
You're
flat.
in a state.
Looks yeah, it's very flat, 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 flat. But this is in one of the parts. Omaha is very hilly, actually, and this is outside of that. And there are a few parts of the state, all on the eastern side of the state, that have a lot of beautiful rolling hills, and this is nestled in one of them. So, the worst problem of this location is that we might have to drive 10 or 20 minutes to food. I mean, like really good food, because we'll take
Yeah.
great breaks and have really good food.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 30 if we want to go to downtown Omaha.
Yeah. Yeah, I just did a 3-day body class in Seattle at my house on the lake, and I love doing classes in beautiful places and being in nature and being outside. We were outside for that class. It was
I
amazing.
saw the picture. I saw
Um,
Ava. Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So this one we won't be outside, but the outside is right there, and we can go outside during breaks and stuff like
Well, and I said that about having yummy lunches, but that's the amazing thing is you get this camaraderie that happens being together in the space of class for 3 days. But there are times when you're just like, "You know what? My body doesn't desire food. My body
that.
wants to go walk,
Yeah.
or my body wants to curl up and sleep, or I just be by myself, or whatever."
Mhm.
And everybody is so great about just being an allowance of what everybody else requires and what their body's asking for. It's a great place because you can actually say that out loud. My body is asking for a walk.
Yeah, exactly, and everybody would be like, "Awesome, enjoy,"
Cool.
you know?
Do that. Do
I
you want us
know.
to bring you food?
It was funny when I was at that rock the other day jumping off, these girls came up and they were like, they were basically asking me, like, "Should I jump?" They were like, "Is this gonna be okay?" And I was such a weirdo because I was like, "Well, does your body want to?" They looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "If your body wants to jump, jump. If your body doesn't wanna jump, don't." And they were just like, "Okay, weirdo." Yeah.
And you get to hang out with all your favorite weirdos, and
Yeah,
so whatever
yeah,
you do, don't come to class.
yeah. So it's August 18, 19, 20,
Yep. Mhm.
to less than 2 weeks, a week
Yeah.
and
Yeah, week and a half.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to the advanced body class this weekend, so I'll be fresh off
Ooh.
the advanced body table.
That's exciting. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that's what you were doing.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it sounds like maybe Tanya's going. Yeah, she said, "Can't wait."
Mhm,
Or maybe just can't wait for this class.
mhm.
Um, I had just to finish up with something, I had this really cool awareness, and maybe it's a subject we can play with in class too. there's been a conversation in Access lately about the zero sum game,
Mhm.
and I saw the words zero sum of change as I was pondering something that was going on with my body. And because what had come to me was that thing that people do where there's almost it seems like there has to be a problem, like something
Yeah,
has to be wrong.
yeah.
And like whether it's their life or their body, there's always something to solve or fix. And I went, oh my gosh, zero sum of change. Like you
Mhm.
can have change and create greater with one thing, and then all of a sudden something pops up so that
Yeah.
there's no moving into a different space. And what would it take to have no more of that? What would it take to actually be able to create the change we desire and keep creating greater possibilities for our lives and bodies?
Yes, I love that question.
Oh,
Way
we're getting a little
that
slow down on you here. I think you were saying I love that question. It kind of bleeped out a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and just like what the body classes create with that, is amazing. So,
Well, it's going to be a lot of
yeah. Well,
fun. Heathernichols.com, right? To register for that class
yeah,
if you're
and then
interested.
if you just go /Omaha Body,
Oh,
that'll
okay.
take you directly to that page. I think that's what it is, but yeah, heathernichols.com, you can go to the events page, it'll be there.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Well, very good. And if you need a prereq, amywilliams.us. I've got a class starting Friday that would get you all set up to take it. Or you can get the Global Foundation on accessconsciousness.com and watch it from your home. And then come join us. But
Yeah.
but wherever you are, if these things are really like, oh, I've got this and this and this going on, I can't do this. Wherever you are, even if you've never heard about this, I wonder what it would take for you to choose to have access bars, to have and find a facilitator to do a body process and step into more with your body and be in the conversation with your body. And what else is possible for stepping into a class like this? So thank you, Heather, so much for jumping on.
Thank
And
you,
I will see you next
everybody.
week and can't wait to see you and your body in person again. It's been a
Me
minute.
too. No, yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Take
Bye,
good
everybody.
care.
Thanks
Thanks
for
everybody
joining
for
us.
listening. We appreciate it.